We back. Okay, Google. Play King Sunny Ade.
Alright, check out this YouTube music station based on King Sunny Ade.
I am Holler. Thank you for joining. I am Holler. Sheon Ibukun. Thank you guys. Yes. All right, cool.
So I decided to piss you off. I decided to piss you off now.
Oh my God, I haven't even. Oh my. This interview is over. Thank you. You actually. So let's say that you've done this to the Premier League now. So you played your home game. You're on the away side now.
This is even third kit. If you annoy me doing the interview, I'll just go and change you.
Fantastic. Oh my goodness. And you know, something in me said, just wear your mind, you just, if I tell you, don't let me. Oh, you see, Dayo, only you can do this and get away with it because trust me, I just shut you. I just like end of story. All right, cool. So whilst people are drumming up, I know that if I can read through people's mind, they just want us to sit and keep talking about, let's do Davido, talk about this, talk about that, you know. But
by the way, Tiwa just released a single this evening. Guys, go and listen to it. It's fantastic.
Fantastic. On fire. Another fire to the shizzle.
Cool. Our album is gonna be mad. Trust me. Our album is gonna be mad.
Well, she's never disappointed, and
this one is even on that level. If you compare it to our last Red, this I can tell you categorically, this even quality wise, mixing wise, and everything.
So have you been tempted to go into like studio work, studio mixing, and all of that side of things? Is that been a temptation for you?
That's where I started. That's where I started from. So I do still do some mixing. So like we have, as you can see, I do that from home. You know, I still have that once in a while where I do stuff, but no, not at the moment. Not at the moment, because I don't have that time. It's studio mixing is as good. It's almost as I don't know, people who do video editing. It's very time consuming. It's very time consuming. Trust me. People just think it's that 2 minute song or that 3 minutes Afrobeat song.
Yeah,
because it takes a lot of time.
Because again, I was talking to the whole. When you listen to an Afrobeat song, and we're gradually moving into the production management side now, but when you listen to an Afrobeat song, which is a hit, you know, everything seems very simple. Like the beat is almost like, and the lyrics is almost like, you know, this guy just shows up and like put on the mic and, you know, you can't even write it down. You get, there was a guy who kind of mimed Naira Marley's song, one actor guy, and I think Naira Marley gave him $1 million for doing that. But listening to the lyrics of the song, it's almost like it's not a lyric you put on paper. It's just almost a lyric like, give me the beat.
You get songs like that. You get songs like that where I'm kind of close friends with a guy called Boss Brain. So if you hear
Yeah,
any
yeah.
song and it's but with the best brain,
Yes, yes.
yeah. So he's Maven's in-house producer at the moment, and Rema's latest song, "Woman,"
Yeah.
was recorded, mixed in one day.
Wow.
Yeah,
Is that
because
it?
Rema was like, yeah, because I think he already had the song in his head. The song
Okay.
was ringing in his head, and they wanted to record it that day. And I was like, guys, meet me in the studio now. Meet me in the studio now. I've got something. We're recording, we're mixing, and we're mastering the same day, you know. And he
Wow.
knew in his head that he had a hit in his head. You get those kind of instances, but you also get the kind of instances of a Tiwa. Tiwa is a workhorse. She's a workhorse. She can record something 50 times.
Wow.
She doesn't care. You can record something 50 times and you have to keep recording until she's satisfied on what she wants. So you get people like that, and then you get
Yeah.
people, someone like a Tenny, she calls herself One Take Wonder. She goes in, that's what she calls herself. She goes in, one take, one take,
That's it.
and that's it. So there are different aspects to it. And then sometimes they record songs and they never release it.
Hmm.
Loads. Loads.
And is that because they woke up the next day and they're just not feeling it like they did yesterday?
Yep.
Wow.
Or maybe
It's,
at that particular time wasn't the right time.
hmm.
Like a lot of people have materials at this moment and they didn't release it because someone like Tiwa's album was ready from like end of January. Was meant to be released sometimes in early April for a tour.
Yeah.
So she releases the album and then she starts the tour. And COVID happened. So
Hmm.
now there's a dilemma. Should I release? Should I not release?
Yeah.
By the time you release, can you still tour with the album? Because if she's released a single now, if she releases the album in the next 1 month and COVID doesn't disappear for the next 3 months or 4 months,
Yeah. Yeah.
the album is almost wasted. So a lot of them are, you know, I know Bonner's got one coming, twice as tall album, you know, almost it's ready, but you don't know. It's just a timing thing. So by
I
the time
know.
maybe it's ready to release in October, I now realizes that there's one song in there that doesn't mix the timing, the sound anymore. Yeah, let's remove it. I just recorded one yesterday, put that one yesterday. Things
Wow.
like that happen, you know. So
It almost looks like when COVID is all done and things open up, there's gonna be a collage of hits coming through from every angle because all
which
of these guys are
which
working.
which you know might be a problem at the end of the day
Yeah.
because there might not be any time for anybody's heat to shine.
Exactly.
So there'll
So
be
it's
a
go-
proliferation of hits.
so it's gonna come down to live shows and all of that, bring it into the public themselves. You know.
It also comes out to timing.
True.
Some people can release in this. You can release in this COVID, but if you've got very good management behind you, just I will live in the air. Don't let my wife hear you.
Okay.
It also comes down
Yeah.
to timing. It comes down to timing in the sense that if you release at the right time, some of these guys, I don't know if you know them, NSG.
I've heard the name.
NSG, they sang the song Options. They
Oh,
released
okay, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
they released their mixtape about 2 weeks ago, and it's doing fantastically well. You know, 15 songs. So I believe they can ride on it. So what they are now doing is maybe every other month they're releasing videos on each song just to keep the
Okay.
hype up.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah, so
It's so much.
mm.
Okay. So because it's criminal, this production management just keeps sliding away and sliding away. So I'm going to pull it back in. So take us around, this project manager and production manager side of you, which what that is and how you bring that to life every single time you do what you do. So take us through that, and then we'll wrap up this lovely interview.
So there's a story behind it. There's a story behind
Fantastic.
it. I remember when I finished my degree, I was thinking of giving up on sound, and making sound maybe just a hobby.
Okay.
So I decided to start building like a project management portfolio of side of things. So I remember that I went to do, I did my Prince 2, did my foundation, did my, what do you call it, practitioner.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did my practitioner and stuff and all that. And then business was good, but was not good enough for
Network. Come on.
people. But you know, there's that next level you just want to get to, and then you feel, you know. So I was like, you know what, maybe what I should do is go on contracts, get a project management job, go on contracts, get basic money, invest more into the business and see, because yes, that's what I want to do, you know, that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But I never knew that God was taking me through a process. So I did all that. And I remember I was going to start a job with JP Morgan. Almost got a job with JP Morgan. And then at the last huddle, when everything I did walk through, the boss I was going to work with directly, I was working with one of the VPs directly. No, not even one of the presidents directly. And it was like, he's not sure about two of us. I just wants one person to interview the two last candidates.
Okay.
And and the guy I was replacing is a black guy, and he just said to me straight up, he said, "This guy is going to interview you. He's going to mess you up." And it was right. You could know that I felt there was a racial bias into it, you know, that kind of a thing. And that thing, you know, when you've got into that huddle and you felt, I'm finally going to get that thing I've been looking for. It really threw me off, you know. Said, nah, I'm not doing this anymore, and blah, 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 and that. And then I now got a contract with Sound, you know, to do an event. And by the time I had one or two meetings with them, all I could see was the project in front of me. All I could see was the project. So all of a sudden, all my project terminologies, risk, what are your milestones, what are your KPIs, you know, and so the year I was meant to do sound with them, so I did just sound for the guys, and then when we finished doing the sound, and I sent them an email, we need to do a review of the event. So for the next year's clinical, blah blah blah, something they had never experienced before, you know. So by the time we had the review and stuff and all that, the next email I was going to get a month later was that, the event is happening again in October, and they want me to project management the whole the whole event, you know. I'm like, okay, now we're talking, you know, that kind of thing. So all of a sudden, and I started realizing that I actually had the, you know, the gift for it. And then there's a particular production manager I used to work with. His name is Anthony Tang. He's the old school type of production manager. Phone.
Okay.
Everything is on the phone. Everything is on the phone. So, but and I realized that working with him, I was more of an email person. So keeping documentations and stuff. Then before you did, promoters started, instead of just me being a sound engineer, promoters were happy to just, you know what, we're doing this show, I'm bringing this person, sort it out. You know, I'm bringing this show, sort it out, I'm bringing this show. So not knowing that, all the time I was learning project management, doing my risk analysis, I did ITL. I have a black belt in Six Sigma. In Six Sigma. I did BA, I did business analysis, I did ITL, I did Prince 2, I did I'm Agile Scrum Master. Yeah.
You didn't come to play, did you?
So I don't know, I was sharing this with from 2009 to 2019. I've been studying every year. I'm studying something.
Wow.
Yeah, this is the first
And
time
you're
I'm not
and
studying
you're not
anything.
from you're from
I'm
Ondo
from
State,
Ondo.
aren't you?
Yeah, I'm
Aha.
not.
You see, I had a guest the other day. She's from Ado Ekiti, but she's very
Ekiti. Those
ahead.
Ekitis they are worse than Ondo. Ekitis are worse than Ondo.
Well, you said that, not me.
Yeah, no, no. When it comes to education, the Ekitis are on another level.
I know,
They
I
are on
know, I
another level.
know.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, but
Uh,
obviously, in the last few days, I've been having a battle in my head to do a PhD. So,
mm.
I don't know. I don't know if it's COVID boredom.
Bro, you know what? You are going to need, as the sound man, you're going to need a hype man to sound you in like Doctor. Dr. D on the wheels of steel.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's something I've been.
your story is I will put it this way, starting from very young age in white garments, blazing your talents through music. The talent showed you so far, took you overseas. You've gone from the end of the train. For people who were on our last series, who understand what I mean, bro. From the end of the train to dining and managing the high and mighty in your industry. And the amazing thing about you is you've just got this unsatiable thirst for knowledge, which you just alluded to, that every single year you've been learning, and then God has a way of using all of those skills you're learning in the industry you are. And for me, looking at you from the outside and saying, what makes this guy tick? What makes him the monster he is in his industry? And your story has literally relayed that to me, because you have to keep fighting, you have to keep improving, you have to keep
Mhm.
expanding your scope way beyond what you do on a day-to-day basis, just so you can bring that plus into the gig you're doing and all of that. And I can only say, and the only question I can ask you after this is, it's so crazy to know that you're still nowhere near where you want to be, as in your final point. Because
Mhm.
going by your CV, you could have been an 80-year-old man who has done all of that. But here you are, looking fine, fine boy, no pimples, still going. My last question, so we wrap this up real quick, is who is that one artist worldwide? Scope is worldwide. It could be Africa, it could be the US, whatever. Who is that one artist you will want to actually work with, who you haven't worked with yet? And then the flip side of that is, what does your happily ever after? What will it look like? What's that view? Take us through
You
that,
know,
and then we'll call
you
it a day.
mentioned, you mentioned that before we went offline the first time,
Yes.
and um, so I think I'm an enigma. So let me just put it to you in the
Hmm.
sense that I don't aim for big artists. So there is no one artist that I'm thinking, oh, maybe if I dream, or maybe somebody offered me, I don't know, but there's no artist I'm looking at. I would love to work with this artist. Oh, this is my dream artist. Um, because it's something I never think about.
Hmm.
I never think about it. If you force me and say, okay, someone, I'll say Beyonce, because
Hmm.
I've been the opportunity to be on the same events, you know, um, with Beyonce, just because of her production is mad sick, Anybody would want to be a part of that production. But
Can I
personally, I don't.
can I jump in real quick there and just ask a fan question? So would you say that there's a resemblance in the journey between Beyonce and Tiwa Savage in terms of the excellence they want to produce on stage. Because from an outside point, I can see that kind of line, in terms of.
I can't say yes or no, but one thing I can believe that if Tiwa had the Beyonce money, she would do the same as Beyonce.
End of story. All right, back to your question. Back to what you were saying.
So for me, I learned it a long time ago. I never chase up. I chase down. So this whole COVID, at the beginning of the year, one of my guys that I work with, my monitor engineer, on BBC had a 15 top artists to look forward in 2020. So I did a printout. I sent it to him, and I said, before the end of the year, we should have captured some people on this list that we're working for. So we're in the middle of the year, we're working for 2 of them. So I believe in going down to go up rather than searching up. So that's why I don't think I have one artist that I want to work with. I never get starstruck. I never get starstruck. The only person I've ever met in my life that I've been starstruck is on my Instagram page. It's a guy called Chris Lord Argy. He's a sound engineer, and is a millionaire as a sound engineer. He became a millionaire by being a sound engineer. He does what we call plugins and stuff and all that. So I remember meeting him in LA this year, and I was starstruck at the Grammys, and I was starstruck. And took picture with him, asked him 1 or 2 questions, posted it, But for me, I believe in working with, because I believe that the way I see it is, if we grow up together, we stay together.
Absolutely.
So
I can see that you're going the McDonald's way. Get the children, and then you get the parents too.
I applaud. So the artist I'm just working with now. I'm trying to sign a couple of artists to just guys who are just coming in. There's Daco. Some people will know her. I'm gonna love you like a gangster, and stuff. Working with Daco now. We've got the NST boys. The truth is that by the time you have 10, 15 of those people, you find out that one of them will become a star.
Absolutely.
Almost
like a football manager. You never know. You've got to grow them.
You go them and you find out that especially when it comes to music, for anyone listening here, especially when it comes to music, it's your team that makes your music, not the individual. So Shina Peters, what ruined Shina Peters, I'm sorry to use that word, was when the band before me, because when his band decided him in America, that's when I joined Shina Peters' band. But the guys who made Shina Peters sound, the Afro Juju, the Ace, the Shina Mania, those guys, when he had issues with them and they left him, he was never able to recreate that sound.
Wow.
So when you look at people like them, Davido and all those guys, and every one of them, you realize that the same people they've started with, you see some people with him, and they've been together for years.
True.
Now, if he's been with those guys for years, and you want to come in and now want to take over, it's not going to happen. It's not.
Yeah,
so I never look for an artist to work upwards. If I get the opportunity to, I've had some artists I've had the opportunity to work with, and I'm like, I get the phone call. I'll give you an example. Akon. I mixed Akon once, and how did I get the gig? The PA company that supplied the show was in Southend, and I know the owner of the PA company, and he goes, "Dude, what are you doing on Monday?" I'm like, "Monday? I don't do anything on Monday." It's like, "How are you gonna mix Akon?" I'm like, "Sorry, who?"
Oh my
Like,
goodness.
I'm like, sorry, who? I said Akon. I'm like, you guys right. He's like, your black brother, Akon. I'm like, what time do you want me to be there? You know,
Oh my goodness.
like, what time do you want me to be there? But the truth is, if I'm gonna, I can't chase an Akon
Yeah,
because Akon has his team already. So why am I chasing
exactly.
Akon? Why am
Yeah.
I chasing now? No. So unfortunately, I don't have that one artist I would love to mix. But if you tell me which upcoming artist I want to mix, I have loads.
Fantastic.
I have
It's
loads.
it's it's crazy because Dio, I am glad that we did this interview, and because the wealth of what you've got in terms of knowledge and experience, and in fact, I would say for free, I've always had respect for your hustle. My respect level has always been high, so it's not like you've surprised me. But I think the part that I didn't, the blind sides or blind spot I didn't see coming is, of course, all of us funnel into the sound side of you, but the added things that you do that all accumulates into that big bucket of that something you do is my takeaway from this interview. And I think that for anybody on the hustle journey, if you're breathing anyways, either you like it or not, you're on one hustle journey, as long as you're breathing. The fact that we cannot be myopic in the way we approach this thing, short-sighted and funnel minded. Oh, I want to do music, and then you don't want to
The
learn about
word
business.
the word I will use. I was having a conversation with some of my friends about 2 or 3 days ago. I said, especially in this industry, the word I will use, you have to be metamorphoric.
Hmm. Mm. Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
You have to be. So you have to evolve. You have to be able to you have to have that shape of an amoeba.
Yeah.
You have to be metamorphoric in the sense you have to be able to evolve into um so a lot of people see me as Tiwa sound engineer. But what a lot of people don't realize is even as a sound engineer, nothing technical
Yeah.
with Tiwa goes ahead without me being involved. So
Absolutely.
even what's going on a video wall, what's going on even in the dressing room, what drink is going to be in a dressing room and stuff and all that,
Hmm.
it has to go through me. But that's not the job of a sound engineer.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's part of the added value I have to add for you to be able to say, okay, you know what, I'm going to pay that extra dollar to get this guy
Exactly.
on.
Exactly.
So in whatever journey you're doing, you just have to be able to grasp things around you quickly, because you'll be surprised that um 20-year-old boys are coming up who've got the power of technology behind them, who don't
Absolutely.
have any bill to pay and stuff. Yeah, they can study, they
I
can
know.
read. So while you're thinking you're you're the top, you're the boss. One small boy somewhere is already learning all those things, and he just
Exactly.
turns up and be like, "Eh, who is this?" So you must be always be getting ready to go to the next step. I remember that I was telling. I don't know if any of the guys who used to join my show here. There's a certification I used to tell people to go and do. It's an audio networking, because everybody knows now the next level of audio is no longer your microphone cables. Audio is going network. Is now networking. You use
Hmm.
Cat 5s. That's what we use for audio now. Everything is data. The audio is now
Wow.
data.
Yeah.
So I tell people, go and do this certification, go and do this certification. And I've been telling a lot of people to go and do it. But guess what? I hadn't done it
No. Hmm.
because I didn't have the time.
I know. I
I didn't
know.
have the time. So obviously, during this COVID, maybe I should have even said I've been studying for 2020. During this COVID, not only normally the normal thing you're just meant to do is level one. It's called dancing level
Yeah.
one. So during this COVID, 3 months in the COVID, I've done level one, I've done level two, and I've done the advanced level dancing level three certification.
Ah, like the
You
boss, like
know,
the
so
boss you are.
so you just realize that, bro, Omo, you can't just stay there and
And I need to, and I think I need to shout this out, and then we'll wrap up this way. Um, like for those who know you, but personally, Dayo is a family man. He has his hands full, with kids, literally, and he's busy, and you still find time to sharpen your skill and to remain top notch. I think that this interview is super complete, and you can almost take the part one, which we did last week, and this one, and sit down and just extract out all of the nuggets you've thrown and transfer that to your own hustle. And easily you will be blazing. For me, I host this event, this show, but a lot of times I engross myself in the story because the truth is we're all on the hustle ground. Everybody at different levels, but we're all hustling. So more than me just being a host, is me also picking from people's stories and connecting. And for you, it's just mind blowing to know that, guys, if you want to do music and something is pushing you in the line of learning business, go for it. If someone's pushing you in the line of learning management, go for it, because they all come together in that big bucket.
Absolutely.
And that might just be your VAT that keeps you being the number one in that game, because people don't see that dark part of you, literally waking up very early to study and learn those things. And for that, Dayo, I can only applaud you. And first of all, thank you for
my
being
happily ever after.
Yes, throw that in, and then we wrap up. I don't want Madame to be annoyed on both sides. So, what does your happily ever after look like? And then we push that.
Okay, sometimes I look at the questions and I actually don't. Actually, I run my own race, so it's kind of funny in the sense that and maybe I never compare myself with any other person. I just do things that this is my journey, but my happily ever after would be that by the time I'm not able to do this more anymore on a 9 to 5, is that I've impacted a generation that can say, if they have 10 sentences, my name comes in for good, and and just retire and just be collecting royalties from the generation.
Yes, sir.
But I think for me, it's just to have created an impact in the industry. That would be my happily. It doesn't matter how big, how just have my name written in history. Yeah, that would be my happily ever after.
This goes back to your in the part one, which was what we did last week. One of the things you dropped was contentment, and I see that reflecting through both questions I've asked you. One about who's that one person you want to work with, and even in your happily ever after, I see that coming true, because you could paint a picture of the beach somewhere hanging in the roof, and then with your cigar and listening to jazz, and that could be, but you decide
I'd love to retire to Malta though.
Well, are you going to run away, or you're going to go on your own? How that will work,
No, we're in conversation together. You know what I mean?
I know. You can't move. Somebody. There's a gate you have to pass before that could go.
There's a shell and there's a snail.
So, and I need to shout her out again, because, of course, bro, if she gives you trouble, your sound, the sound, and the people will know that, So mad love to your lovely wife and your lovely kids, who give you the opportunity to be the best, Dayo everybody knows you for. Because when all the noise, when all the lights in the whole stadium goes dark, that's the madam who welcomes you back home. So shout out to your lovely wife, and shout out to your kids, for giving us the opportunity to be able to sift as much from you as we have in this interview. and of course for your very esteemed clients that you continue to satisfy on a day-to-day basis. We celebrate you. We know at the last session we did confer you the honorary title of CHH, Certified Hustle Hero, but we redouble it. We go from silver to gold. It has to be written in gold. This is Dr. Dayo. You heard it first here. Dr. Dayo.
You're speaking into existence.
Dr.
Bro, that's
Dayo
about 3-4
Oladehin.
years of my life.
I know. But then again, you see, by the time you become a doctor, then you're done. You have the most certificates in your house, and now you are topping it up like all of us are now doctors. So what's going on here? So we celebrate you. We thank you. I know that your hustle can only get bigger. And I know that even your happily ever after, you're already doing it already. You know, even on the chat, I know that there are a whole lot of young people you're already bringing up and, you know, connecting into what you do. And of course, I don't know why, but normally you get the idea of people find a niche or find a USP and then they cover it. Nobody must know that this is why. But you are very, very open to sharing these nuggets and then sharing, you know, your life experiences. And I know that people beyond music will be able to say that, you know, I listened to Dayo's interview and he said this and I kind of picked up on that in my own gig. So for that, God bless you. Thank you for giving us your time again, because I know how busy you are. Even in
You're
COVID,
welcome,
guys.
sir.
Even in COVID, this guy is a busy man. So if you have a gig, if you have anything, and guess what? I need to also shout out Sound Mind. This is an Instagram live series that this lovely man did almost for 50 something days. I don't know where you get that energy. As in, I was like, at some point, this man is a
It's not on a
workhorse.
website. It's not as a website.
Okay, good.
It's
So,
not a
guys,
website.
it's not a website.
The
Okay.
soundmind.
So,
the soundmind.co.uk.
okay. No, you don't need to understand. My Google is even getting involved. Soundmind. www. He said, I don't even understand. Soundmind.co.uk. www.soundmind.co.uk.
The Soundmind.
The Soundmind. Okay. The Soundmind.co.uk. Guys, all things sound. This man interviewed the high, the mighty, the low, the medium, everything you want to know about sound. Get on that website, and then I'm sure you'll be blessed. Mr. D, so that I can call you next time and you
so
answer.
Much.
I will not take your time for that. Thank you for this time. Mad love.
Thank you for everyone for tuning in.
Oh, yeah, it's my pleasure. Absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure. I must say that the third time, because you're that good. It's my absolute pleasure. All right,
blessed,
I'll let
bro.
you go. Have a good evening.
All right.
Thank you.
You
yeah,
too.
bye. Bye. All right, guys. I hope you had a good time. What did you think about the series? Yeah, I salute your hustle. Yes, Timmy has the best interviews. Such a good flow of vibe. Fantastic. He's a fantastic dude. Fantastic guy. But guys, just before you go, 3 things. You know, expound your mind, read abroad, read aloud, read wide, because every single thing you read here and there can be an ingredient in that hustle delicacy you're cooking. So stop being myopic, stop being funnel driven. As you can see in his story, a lot of the things that has kept him in that top place are the things he's learned outside of his main gig. So please never be shy to keep getting better, whatever it is. Social media, there's a whole lot of stuff going on there that you can, you know, chill and just read over, or just browse over and all of that. But it's been another good time. We'll go again Friday, 8 p.m. It's going to be a blast. I'm bringing you a world-defined, world-acclaimed producer. And you don't want to miss this. So tell a friend to tell another friend. But in the meantime, hustle continua. Victoria Sata. Thank you for joining. I celebrate every single one of you that have joined. And thank you for making this happen. I'll see you again at Friday. Have a good evening. Keep winning. But keep fighting. See you later. Bye.